Alright, let's get started with our first TypeScript app. We'll change directory to the desktop and make a new folder called First App. Then we'll do code, space, and a period to open the project in VS Code. From inside the editor, create a new file and call it index.ts. Now, earlier we mentioned that we can have any JavaScript code in a TypeScript file, and it'll be valid TypeScript code. So we can do something like define a greeting message, then alert it in the browser. But, because a browser can't understand TypeScript, we have to compile the code into JavaScript first. To do that, we run the TypeScript compiler. In the top menu, go to Terminal, then choose New Terminal. From there, type tsc and the file name you want to compile. In our case, that's index.ts. TypeScript will transpile the code into valid JavaScript and store it in a file with the same name. But, if we open the file, you'll see the variable's been declared with var instead of let. By default, TypeScript compiles with ES5 syntax, but we want our code to be more modern. Luckily, we can configure the compiler to target a newer JavaScript version. Let's open the terminal again and run the command tsc:\init. This will create a new configuration file called tsconfig.json with some basic compiler settings. The first setting we want to change is the target that we'll set to ES6. The next setting we want to change is root dir under the modules section. It specifies the directory that contains our source files. We'll remove the comment with command or control/ and set it to src. Then we'll create the folder in the Explorer pane and drag our TypeScript file into it. Let's also delete the JavaScript file. We'll generate a new one in a second. To specify the folder where we want the source files to compile to, we use the outdir option in the emit section. We'll set it to dist and create the folder in the Explorer. From now on, we don't have to specify the file name when we compile, we can just write tsc. If we open the generated JavaScript file, we'll see it uses the new syntax. To test it in the browser, we'll create a new index.html file in the dist folder. Inside it, we'll type an exclamation point to bring up emit, then press tab to create some HTML skeleton code. In the body, we'll do a script tag that links to the index.js file. And because we have the live server extension installed, we can just right-click the file and choose Open with Live Server. If we switch over to the browser, we'll see the alert with the greeting message, so everything works like we expect. But we haven't used any of TypeScript's features yet, so let's go back to the editor and give our variable a type. To do that, we add a colon after the name, then specify the type. In this case, we want the type to be a string. Now, if we try to change the greeting to something else, we get an error. And if we hover over it, we can see that a number isn't assignable to a string type. So we're getting errors before we even compile our code, saving us a lot of time. Let's remove this and compile the code again. But this time, we'll add the watch flag with --watch. The compiler will continuously watch for changes and recompile the file when we save, so we don't have to do it manually every time. If we switch over to the browser, the alert still shows the message, so everything works as it should.